seen Hart, but I guess I got a 50-50 chance of which way he's going.
You may all be seated.
That's our dad.
No more applause. Thank you very much. I would like to say welcome to families of students, as well as faculty and participants around you. To the class of 2012, you all look great. You're welcome. This won't be long because I have on 5-inch heels. But I just have a few words to share with you. Let's have some time travel. Go back to kindergarten, back when we had recess and nap time. As we got older and kept going through elementary school, we kept recess but lost nap time. The only thing bad, though, that I remember was those assigned seats during lunchtime. Then we moved on to middle school and things got crazy with changing classes and free seat Friday. That's when we first thought that we were grown-ups. Time passed and we finally became freshmen in high school, where you could sit wherever you wanted during lunch. Now you're here in your first 9 weeks of your senior year. Be excited, but realize that it's not over yet. So I plead with you to use all of your resources around you, such as guidance counselors, teachers, and administrators. Also, live it up. Throw parties and cookouts as long as Melanie's name is on the invitation list. Make yourself known and don't be caught in the background. Stand out there and say, "Hi, my name is Raven Williams. My best friend is Gabby Parham. We play basketball. We like polos and boys. Or, hi, my name is Hart Rainey. I am very, very handsome. I play football and I hope to marry Melanie Hanson. So get out there and enjoy yourself. Join the Senior Advisory Council and have your voice heard and decide how you want your senior year to be. So use your resources, do your work, make yourself known, and enjoy yourself. Thank you. I'll now turn it over to Mr. Burrow.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a tough act to follow. Thank you, Tom. Good afternoon. On behalf of the faculty and administration, it is my pleasure to welcome the class of 2012, parents of the class, and friends. Before I read my remarks, I do have a few special guests I'd like to recognize. Seated on the stage is Ms. Donna Dalton, our Chief Academic Officer of Chesterfield County Public Schools. I believe that somewhere out there is Dr. Beth Tyson, Executive Director for Administration. If she can wave her hand, I'm not sure where she might be. We give her a round of applause. Students, today we celebrate the 14th Annual Senior Convocation for you, our Monacan Chiefs, our senior chiefs. Yes, senior year. That place you arrive when you no longer feel awkward, confused, or unsure of the future. Or is that still the place? Do you wonder where you're headed, or how you'll get wherever it is you see yourself going? Is the light at the end of the tunnel a whole lot brighter than you thought it was going to be? Or are you looking forward to an opportunity? The same opportunity that students have looked forward to since 1979. To become a chief that you yourself, your families, your teachers, your community could be proud of. So that brings us forward to Senior Convocation, which is a formal introduction of the class of 2012. And make no mistake about it, you have arrived. Your time has come. And with that arrival, a few responsibilities. Every year you've been encouraged to embody or be the chief belief, to build respect through building relationships. In front of your family and friends, that challenge is repeated for you today and for you alone. And it is one that I know you most certainly can meet. You've made it to this point. Monacan High School needs you to continue our tradition of excellence. What I'm asking you to do is to be our student leaders or student teachers of our fellow chiefs. Perhaps I can put it another way. You can do whatever you want. You can live in a little bubble and it can be all about you. But that's far too easy. That is exactly how much of society labels your age group, as being maybe self-centered, perhaps self-absorbed and unrealistic. So here's the challenge. This past summer I had the opportunity to travel with several high school students from Chesterfield County Public Schools, many from Monacan, and join a group of nearly 1,500 and rehearse and then record a CD that was distributed nationwide. And while that sounds really cool, it was the words of one of those songs that still roll around in my head today, and I thought very appropriate. So a few of those lines as your challenge. In my own little world, it hardly ever rains. I never go hungry, I always feel safe. I got some money in my pocket, shoes on my feet. In my own little world, population, me. I turn off the news when I don't like what I see. It's easy to do when it's population, me. What if there's a bigger picture? What if I'm missing out? What if there's a greater purpose? So what is your purpose? And are you missing out? Is it all about you? Today certainly is, but what you do with your life and the difference you make means so much more than you can imagine. Let me put it another way. I expect to pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, I can do, or any kindness or abilities that I can show to any fellow creature, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, or I shall not pass this way again. Those words were written by William Penn a really, really long time ago. But what about putting it into practice? What I do, you cannot do. But what you can do, I cannot do. The needs are great, and none of us, including me, will ever do great things. But we can all do small things with great love, and together we can do something wonderful. That was from Mother Teresa. Or as put by Anne Frank, how wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve our world. Okay, how about one that makes a whole lot of sense? Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. That's Dr. Seuss. So to the class of 2012. Be amazing at Monacan High School. Practice the chief belief daily. The Monacan family congratulates you in reaching this important milestone in your life. Chiefs, go forth, do, be, and make good on the challenge placed before you. And oh, make Monacan proud. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Leah Cassida, and I'm one of the senior class secretaries. Our next speaker teaches here World History 2 as well as AP Psychology. She's a Humanities Center teacher, sponsors Psychology Club, and co-sponsors Student Government. 2 years ago, she won the Role Model Award, and this past year, she had the honor of being Monacan High School's Teacher of the Year. Please welcome Ms. Sarah.
Hi. This is my 13th year at Monacan High School. A lot of you have had me for world history, and many of you have had me for AP Psychology class. While I enjoy teaching history, especially the Tudors, the French Revolution, and World War II, my true passion is psychology. For me, it's always been interesting to study why humans behave the way that they do. It is also a subject that has a direct link to the real world. While a lot of you haven't taken psychology at Monacan, you are all students of it in your own ways. This is what binds us all together. We are all trying to figure out why people act the way that they do. For example, have you ever wondered why a friend of yours acts one way around you, but completely different around that boring first period? Or why your normally reserved class acts completely wild when there's a substitute? Or why, as it gets closer to graduation, your mom will pull out those old finger paintings that you did in kindergarten and put them on the refrigerator? We're all psychologists. One of the things that psychology classes teach us is the phenomenon known as diffusion of responsibility. This takes place when someone is in need of help, but people don't react. Psychologists suggest there are two main reasons for this. One, you don't help because you mistakenly believe someone else will take care of it. And second, you don't help because you don't see anyone else reacting, so you mistakenly believe that you must be wrong in thinking it's a true emergency. An example of the first rationale is the famous Kitty Genovese case. In 1964, Kitty Genovese was murdered. During the investigation, it was found that up to 38 of her neighbors heard the attack and did not call the police. Each one falsely assumed someone else was going to call. Perhaps this, on a less dire scale, has happened to you. You see something that doesn't quite sit right. You see someone who's been bullied, you see someone cheating, or you see a car stranded on the side of the road. But you don't react because you assume someone else has already responded or will respond. Simply put, you think it's someone else's responsibility. But there's also a second explanation, which is called pluralistic ignorance. I think you'll admit to yourself that we often take our cues on how to behave from those around us. Pluralistic ignorance refers to a situation where a large proportion of our peers misunderstands reality. They may all agree on how to respond, but they are nonetheless mistaken. A good example can be found in the classroom. Immediately after a lesson, I may ask you, does anyone have any questions? And not a single person raises their hand. Everyone looks around nervously at each other, and they mistakenly assume that everyone but them understood the lesson. In reality, most of the students probably had the same questions they did. I'm sure you can think of instances where this has happened to you. In both situations, you are mistaken, and this mistake can lead to consequences. Though this phenomenon occurs frequently, there are a number of examples where people have been able to break out of this trap. In 2007, Wesley Autry was waiting for a New York subway. Nearby, a man collapsed and fell onto the tracks. Undoubtedly, there are many bystanders who looked on helplessly, but as Mr. Autry saw the subway approaching, he made a split-second decision to jump onto the subway tracks and shield the man with his own body. When interviewed afterwards, Mr. Autry stated, "I didn't feel like I did anything spectacular. I just saw someone who needed help, and I did what I thought was right." Mr. Autry did what many in that situation would not have done. he took matters into his own hands and reacted. A second example occurred a few months ago in Utah. As videos showed, just seconds after a motorcyclist was pinned underneath a burning car, an ad hoc rescue team of students, bystanders, businessmen, construction workers gathered to lift the car out from on top of him and save his life. The third dramatic example concerns Richard Reed, a man otherwise known as the Plain Shoe Bomber. While on a flight, the flight attendant noticed a burning smell. Upon further investigation by her and other passengers, his real intentions were made clear. With some passengers' help, Reed was restrained and the flight landed safely. In all of these cases, had people just gone about their own business, taken their cues from those ignoring the situation, or if they simply just didn't want to get involved, the consequences would have been fatal. Standing on the threshold of adulthood, you will increasingly find yourself with more independence. As the examples above have illustrated, the key to using that independence effectively and justly is to become aware of when to act individually and courageously. Perhaps one key to knowing what to do in difficult situations is not to ask yourself, what are others doing? But instead to think what is truly good for humanity at large. So my parting wish to you all is to think for yourself and make those good choices. We will look forward to hearing wonderful things about your future endeavors. Congratulations to the class of 2012.
Clement, and I'm your senior class treasurer. Today's guest speaker. Today's guest speaker, Mr. Newman, grew up in Danville, Virginia, and went on to the University of Virginia. There he led the basketball team to the NCAA playoffs twice. Afterwards, he then went on to be selected in the second round of the NBA draft in 1986. He played basketball in the NBA for 16 years. Please welcome Mr. Johnny Newman.
You all doing good? Yeah. You all happy? Yeah. Well, I tell you, I want to first thank your principal, Mr. Broad. He, he has put together, I must say, really together. I've been to a lot of high schools, and from time to time, the kids get out of hand, but I tell you, when I walked in here, I knew that someone was in charge, and it was him. I want to thank Melanie Henson, your president. I tell you, I have to get a new computer now because she worried me to death to be here today. And I say that jokingly because she was very persistent, and I have a busy schedule, but I really want to thank her. She does tremendous things. I see she does tremendous things here as the president. I know we attend the same church, and she does tremendous things there, and it's just good to see young people like yourself and her and the rest of her board do good things and grow up to be good people. I want to thank Drew for introducing me. I told him to cut some of it out, and I will cover that. But I want to say thank you again to the administration for having me here. I had my tie, and I threw my tie away, but sometimes when you go to high schools and you talk to young people, it's business for me, because I know it's very serious. It's serious for the administration, it's serious for your family, but I don't want to be too tight, because I want you all to know that I sit in those same seats before. I sat there and went through all the events that you all are going through now, and I want you to know, I'm a little taller than you all, that I've been there and I understand what you all are going through and what you are feeling. But I definitely glad to be here and wanted just to drop by and just say a few words to let you all know, what senior year meant to me, and I know it means the same to you all. I know within my class, and I come from Danville, Virginia, a little small place, senior year was fun for some people. It was a relief for some people. It was great anticipation for some people, and it's just a group of things that senior year can mean. Now, I said senior year, not a senior moment. Some of our grandparents and parents have that, and the reason why they have those is because senior year is coming, and first year is college. But I know that you all, parents, are very happy that you all have been able to get to your senior year, and I want to give you all a big hand right away and give yourself a big hand. Doing so much work with young people, hey, you have to give yourself a hand, because a lot of young people are not here, unfortunately. They made some bad decisions, they made some wrong turns, and if you live long enough, a carpenter told me, if you live long enough, you're going to hit your hand. If you don't hit your finger with the hammer, you're not doing anything. So I know within your day-to-day and with your strides and trying to be a better person, get more education, better jobs, things are going to happen. But I see it as coming from a small place of Danville. I didn't really have a lot of opportunities. I'm going to be honest with you. Coming from Danville at that time, I had to dream a lot. I had to think a lot. I had to wonder and wish and hope and pray that big things were going to happen for me. But I was focused. I was focused. In high school, I went to school with a lot of class clowns, some bullies, just some people that were not as focused as I was. And I could have easily got on the track, got on the train, and followed them. And I see that you all stayed on track. When I came to my senior year, a lot of the athletes that played basketball, football, and baseball, and other sports with me, they were not in the room. They were not in the room. I felt bad for them, but as a youngster, I saw the light early. And that's one thing I want to say to you all today. I want you all to see the light early. You all are seeing the light now. You reach your senior year. Don't lose focus. Continue. A lot of the athletes, a lot of the other students, when I came through, they lost focus. So they were not in the room at this time. And then the whole year went away, and it was time to graduate. I had a full scholarship to the University of Richmond to play basketball. Now, I know everyone is not going to get a full ride, but were they prepared to go to college? I was prepared to go to college. Some of my other classmates were prepared because they stayed focused. They didn't get off track. After I went to school, even in college, you learn so much about individuals in college. A lot of college students thought it was party time, it was time to hang out, but guess what? I stayed focused. I knew I had a great talent. I knew I had a God-given talent that was going to be good for me in some way, sometime. But I really, again, had to stay focused. So when that day came, when my senior year came to college, I knew that it wasn't over. But I knew that I had reached a goal that I wanted to reach. So I had that same feeling. Some of the same feelings that you all are having, I had them my senior year in college. My senior year in college. And I knew, or had a good feeling that I was going to get drafted. I was hoping and praying, believe me. But on the other hand, I knew that I was going to graduate. I knew that I was going to get that scholarship, that graduate, I was going to graduate and get that diploma that my mom wanted me to have, my father wanted me to have. So I knew that I was going to have it one day. So I had to stay focused. And after that, when I got drafted, to me, that was another senior year for me. Because for me, senior year means you reach a point that you're moving on to bigger and better things. And like I said, high school, which you hear now, college, and then when I got drafted, another senior year for me. So never always stay focused. Never lose track, never get off track. When I became drafted and went into the pros, it was tough. You know, many of you all might think, oh, you get paid a lot of money, and, you know, but when you do big things and you're in a big arena, people come from all over. People come after you. People want to pull you off track. And those are some of the things that probably some of you all are experiencing now. And I always tell people when I go to speak to kids all the time, I tell them that people will be your friends for a lot of different reasons. A lot of different reasons. And some of them are your friends because they want to control, push you in certain directions that you don't want to go in. And that's where you have to continue to stay focused again and never get off track. Because some of those people don't want to do what you want to do. And I always tell the kids, don't be afraid to be good. Don't be afraid to be good. And when you want to be good, the person next to you, they don't want to get up in the morning and run 5 miles. They might not want to get up and stay up late and study for that test. They might not want to have 5,000 jump shots a day. They might not want to take that extra class. But you can't let them hold you back. You want to be good, stay focused. You all have so many opportunities now. You have so many opportunities, man. They're right out there for you to go get them. Now, like I said before, it's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy when I came to it. But you can do it. You can do it. After graduating from college, you know, like I said, I was happy. I went into the pros. I was there for 16 years. I played with a lot of great players. The Patrick Ewing, I played against the Larry Bird, the Magic Johnson. You know, all those guys, I was able to be in that. For Danville, I probably never thought that I was going to do that. At one time, I probably never thought I was going to have the opportunity to go to the University of Richmond. But when you stay focused, good things will happen for you. Good things will happen for you. Something that saddens me when I go back home, and I always tell kids this when I go and have the opportunity. And I don't mean that in a bad way because I want to still be a kid too. When I get some of the phone bills, the light bills, the tax bills, I still want to be a kid. But it's just something I say in fun. But when I go home and I see all of the same students that were sitting beside me in the auditorium, they were eating with me in the cafeteria. They were in the same classroom. They were the class clown. They didn't want to stay focused. They thought they had these fraternity to get out of high school. They want to be the class bully. They want to be disrespectful. I don't see any of you all in there, but I had those guys. I had those young ladies. It really hurts me now when I go home. Sometimes I don't even recognize them. I don't even recognize them. I don't even know who they are. Some of them are not with us anymore, and not for natural reasons, but the use of drugs, the use of alcohol, being in the wrong places at the wrong time. And I'll tell you, that really hits home for me. Because guess what? I got to look at it. I could have easily went that direction. If I didn't have great parents, I didn't pray a lot, if I didn't stay focused, I didn't stay focused. So you all have a great opportunity to do well, to be great individuals in your community, in your home, and make your parents happy. And believe me, don't be afraid to be good. Never be afraid to be good. Dreams. I mean, there's some doctors in here, students, some NBA basketball players, hopefully we'll play this year. But I tell you, if you put forth the effort, I put forth the effort. In April, this past April, I was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame, Virginia Sports Hall of Fame. And I just, look back at all the great names of all the great sports players in Virginia that's on that list. And now I'm a part of that list. My next goal is the College Hall of Fame. And hopefully, I had great numbers. Hopefully I'll be there one day. Now the NBA, boy, that's a tough list. But I tell you, just me playing there, for 16 years and having the respect of the guys. And those of you all who have the PlayStation, 2012, just came out yesterday or today, the video game. I'm a part of that video game, so I'm waiting for my check to come for that. But that's something great. I never thought that I would be on video games. And that's not saying anything in a bragging way. It's just saying that anything is possible. If you keep your head on straight, you work hard, you listen to your parents, and you're not afraid to be good. I want to thank you all for having me here today. I wish you all well. I wish you all the most success, and I want to be in my rocking chair and read good things in the newspaper about each and every one of you all. And I want you to know that, never forget your parents. Thank your parents. Sometimes we take our parents for granted and we don't understand them waking us up in the morning. You don't understand them having a meal for us, a roof over our head. And never forget them, because they've been there with you, even though you don't go along with everything they want you to say and do. And just thank them. And one day, when you reach that point, and you've done well, come back and help someone else. Thank you.
Seniors, please rise and remain standing at your seats until the junior ushers direct